Hello and welcome to another SkaredCast battle report. Today we've got Dark Eldar versus Chaos Nurgle Space Marines. This is going to be a Maelstrom of War mission, fighting off against two of the older books. Let's see what happens. Okay, welcome to another battle report. I have Shane here once again. You've seen him on the channel before with his Thunderwolves and Wolves. Today he has brought Chaos Space Marines. Not just any Chaos Space Marines, but Nurgle. So we have Plague Bearers. Here, Shane, why don't you tell us what's in your list?
Alright, so first we have a Demon Prince. He's got invisible wings, power armor. He has no psychic mastery level. He has a black mace, pretty cheap, standard. And then I got Typhus there. He's going to be the warlord. He's got his war gear and stuff like that. He'll be riding with the Obliterators. They all have Mark and Nurgle. Probably be deep striking those guys in. And then going on to troops, we have 3 5-man squads of Plague Marines. The sergeants have power fists, and then there's a plasma gun in each squad. Each squad has a rhino. And then we have a Helldrake in the fast attack support with a Baleflamer.
Okay, and then we've got 1,500 points of Dark Eldar. There seems to be a lot more models on this army. We shall see what happens. So the army is led by the Warlord, who is my Succubus. She is the Warlord for the campaign. And then we have 4 Grotesques with an Aberration with Scissor Hands in a Raider. Then we have 5 Mandrakes, a Razorwing with Lances. Then we have 3 units of Cabalite Warriors with Venoms. 2 units of Scourge, one with Heat Lancers, one with Haywire Grenades. 2 Talos. A unit of 9 Witches in a Raider with a Hecatrix, with, yes, a Haywire Grenade, and a Shard Net and Impaler. And that is 1,500 points. We're playing Maelstrom of War mission. Let's come back to the armies and deployment. The table has been set. The battle is ready. So we have 6 Maelstrom objectives. We're playing Contact Lost, which means that we're going to get objectives as the game goes, depending on the turn number, the amount of objectives you control. Shane is playing with the Cities of Death deck of cards, which is about capturing all the objectives. That's why we've put them in buildings. And I am playing with my Dark Eldar cards because they're very Dark Eldar-y. And Shane has chosen that side, it's pitch battle, and I have this side, and he wants to deploy first and then choose to go first or second. He's got some psychic powers, I got some stuff, and my Warlord trait is useless. But I did get +1 strength on my combat drugs for my witches. Very excited about that. And as the sun is rising, we get to battle. Deployment is complete. We have Rhino behind the wall, Demon Prince behind the wall, Deep Striking Typhus with Obliterators, and Helldrake in reserve. And then the Dark Eldar have pretty much put everything on the table. So Scourge with Haywire Grenades, Cabalite Warriors and Venom, Grotesquerie with the Succubus, the unit of Talos, Venom, Witches, Venom, and Infiltrating Mandrakes. Shane wants to go first. So, the Dark Eldar will attempt to seize the initiative. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, drum, drum, drum. They do not. It is Chaos Space Marine, turn 1. Okay, Nurgle, Pestilence, turn 1. The rhinos have moved up, surrounding objective 6. Some shooting saw 2 of these Scourge die. They did not fail their morale test. The Nurgle Demon Prince has swooped into or teleported from there, and we're going to say it's swooping. all the way into the middle there, while shooting from that rhino has blasted a mandrake. The objective for the Nurgle was capture objective 5 for a point. But if objective 5 is held by the enemy, then after you capture it and you take it away from them, then you get 2 points, which is pretty cool. It's like a storm the objective sort of objective. I have pulled an objective and I've got hungry for glory, which is issue a challenge. Okay, moving on to Dark Eldar turn 1. The Dark Eldar have maneuvered. I put 1 hull point on this rhino with a disintegrator cannon over here. And then this unit of Cowboy Warriors got out of their venom, and the venom boosted to contest that objective with objective secured. The Witches have moved up to contest that objective with objective secured. The Grotesques have moved into a central position. These Cabalite Warriors are here contesting that objective. The Talos moved and ran into a more central position. This venom here boosted to contest that objective. And this venom with Cabalite Warriors has moved back here to contest that objective, denying the Chaos player any points. So now we're moving on to Chaos turn 2, where we have reserves and whatnot as well to come in. Nurgle turn 2, we had the Helldrake try-vector strike that venom. I passed my flicker field save, and then it flamed the Cabalite Warriors over here, and 2 were alive and they're running away. The Obliterators landed on over there and poured assault cannon fire into this raider to try and strand the Grotesques in the middle of the table, and only 1 glancing hit got through the jinking pilot. Other shooting saw these 2 rhinos kind of try and shoot both of that and here and failed to do any damage, while the plasma gunner inside that rhino killed himself with an overheating plasma gun. The Demon Prince has landed in order to charge things next turn, and Typhus and his unit also tried to do psychic powers, and my Venom, it has get hot weapons right now. In other shooting, this rhino also lost a plasma gunner, as the plasma gunner died a horrible, hideous death. Now, to note, we have been playing with the Death from the Skies supplement, but there hasn't been any dogfighting because, Shane did not want his Helldrake to fight my Razorwing, which meant that we kept on having to roll off, and he won the roll off, which meant he got to choose not to have a dogfight ever. But he's shaking his head right now. So now I do have my reserves, but because I have air superiority, thanks to having a fighter in reserve, I can add +1 or -1 to this, so the Razorwing. It still doesn't come in. He just wants to stay up. And my deep striking Scourge. And I'm going to add +1 to bring them in with my Razorwing that just decided to stay in reserve because he's still looking for that guy. And that guy already came to the battlefield. Okay, and I've got 1 objective, 2 objectives in the back, 3 objectives. I have 3 objectives, so I get 3 objective points. So, no escape. I have to kill something with stealth, shrouded, or something that's falling back.
There you go.
Death by 1,000 cuts. I have to try and kill lots of different units. And secure objective 1, which just happens to be somewhere. Where you'll find... Oh, this one right here. So I will be... High Command has given me some good things, but it is sabotage, so it might blow up in my face. Okay, on to turn 2. Okay, we had turn 2 for the Dark Eldar. Started with the deep striking Heat Lance Scourge jumping in, and putting 2 hull points on this rhino, and then the Haywire Grenade from the Witch, wrecking it. They then charged in. I killed 2 of the Plague Marines, and I lost 2 of the Witches as well. The Haywire Grenades rolled 3 1s and didn't do any damage to that rhino. These Cabalite Warriors did rally. All the poison shooting that I could muster fired into the Demon Prince, put 2 wounds on him, and I charged in with my Grotesques, and I was successful in killing 2 Obliterators and I lost 4 wounds, and Typhus is still fine, but my Succubus is fine. The Typhus and the Aberration are in a challenge for Hungry for Glory. So I did get capture objective 1. I finally got first blood for killing one of the rhinos. I did get death by 1,000 cuts because I killed models from 3 different units. And I got Hungry for Glory, bringing my total points to 4. We're moving on to the Chaos turn 3. This combat was a stalemate. Shooting from this rhino, the rhino behind the wall, put 2 hull points on this raider, and that forced me into jinking. And then the Demon Prince jumped out, charged into the grotesques, combined with Typhus's demon weapons. They killed everyone and took no damage, which now they've consolidated around as well. And they put it gets hot on that venom. Okay, so we're moving on, but still no points other than Warlord. So Warlord goes to the Nurgle Warlord. So that's Warlord. Okay, and we're moving on to turn 3 for the Dark Eldar. I have my Razorwing still in reserve, and it is going to arrive. I'm excited. Time for some dogfighting. And now we go on to Dark Eldar turn 3. So I got Ascendancy, and I captured 3 objectives for Ascendancy for 2 points. I got Kingslayer, and I was able to finally kill Typhus. I shot a lot, killed the Demon Prince for no escape, and then charged the Talos into Typhus and killed Typhus with the Talos, giving me Kingslayer and Warlord. And no prisoners. I killed 4 units this turn, including that rhino. And this Razorwing came in hot and blew the Bale Flamer off the Chaos Helldrake. So it's all over but the Fat Lady Singing in terms of Maelstrom of War objectives, because the Dark Eldar have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 2, 2. So it is turn 4, and there's not much left. We will come back to you at the end of the turn. So, Chaos turn 4, and it is the end of the game, with dire straits for the Chaos Space Marines. We had the Plague Marines jump out and fail to do any damage to that raider. 1 Scourge with a Heat Lance died to bolt of fire, and the Witches in combat finally felled the last 2 Plague Marines with their Agonizers and their close combat weapons before consolidating towards the last surviving members on this flank. So with that, the Dark Eldar have taken a victory over the Chaos Space Marines. Shane, thank you for coming down for games, sir.
Thank you.
No problem. Chaos Space Marines, can't wait to get an updated book.
Oh, man. They definitely need an updated book for sure.
They do. Make sure you check out the Patreon page and support the channel. And stay tuned for a little tactical corner. I'll talk a little bit about the lists and about just playing the game in a more hobby style. You know, bringing things that you don't usually see, like mandrakes or witches or grotesques that aren't part of the Coven book, etc. Thanks a lot for tuning in. This is Skari. Leave a comment down below. Like, subscribe, share. Show the nation that you care. This is Skari. Out. Hello and welcome to another Tactical Corner. Today we played a very fun hobby game, Nurgle Chaos Space Marines, all marked Nurgle, Plague Marines, Obliterators, a Greater Demon of Nurgle, Typhus, the Rhinos, against a pure Dark Eldar army. Now this is pretty much a single CAD Dark Eldar force with a Succubus, Grotesques, a couple of Talos, Witches, Mandrakes, a couple of units of Cabalites, and of course the Scourge, Anti-Tank, and the Razorwing. The mission itself, we decided to play just a fun Maelstrom of War mission, and the table itself was set up in a thematic style.
kind of following a theme. You know, trenches, roads, a couple of ruins. So nothing too crazy. You know, we basically chose to have more of a fun game. Like, we did play a Maelstrom of War mission, but I was using the Dark Eldar cards, and my opponent was using the Cities of Death cards, which a little bit different and allow you to, you know, get harder cards, but can be more rewarding if you push hard for them. The new tactical objective cards from GW kind of take some of the dynamics from that card list and put them in play. So, a couple of key things for the game. Number one, my opponent did not deploy his obliterators, and he was indeed going first. This meant that on my first turn, lacking any heavy shooting on his part, I was able to move up unopposed with all my movement intact. Now, he did have the Great Demon of Nurgle, and it had wings, so it was flying around. But because he flew it up, I was able to get rather aggressive with it and not have to worry about it jumping down and assaulting any of my army, considering it didn't really have very many psychic powers that were going to do much damage. Now, Typhus and the Obliterators were probably going to be my toughest unit to take down, but luckily enough, those Grotesques walked in there, and the Succubus and the Grotesque, although they did eventually die, did use their instant death weaponry to great effect, you know, having the Obliterators fail a few saves, but this was enough to really kind of do some damage. The Greater Demon later did jump in, but then the Talos kind of mopped up that entire center part of the flank. Now, it was very fun to use my witches for the first time in a very long time. The witches went over and held out one flank, and I really love the way the models are painted. And cool models that you paint well, even though they're not, quote, the best thing to use in the game. That Agonizer on the Hecatrix was fantastic, and they're an expensive unit, but used well, they do decently. And they went toe-to-toe with Nurgle Plague Marines. You know, they had a half-decent combat drug, and all in all, they didn't get flamed, which was probably the biggest thing I was worried about, getting flamed in that open-top transport, which is the no-retreat special rule. So my cards were kind to me. I was able to get quite a lot of points. And, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles with Maelstrom sometimes. But it's very hard I kept on putting a lot of units on my opponent's objectives because of the Maelstrom of War mission to prevent him from taking any objective cards in the first place. So I controlled the pace of the game and prevented my opponent from getting any points. So what do you think? Did I miss anything? Let me know in a comment below. Support the Patreon page, and see you next time. This is Skara, your grateful host, out.